What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Bass and Prodigy. Now today, as you can see, I have a ton of lures here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 lures in front of me right now, and these lures are my top 5 favorite fall fishing lures. So if you want to catch some fish in the fall, I highly suggest you stick around to the end of the video. Alrighty guys, so I have 5 lures here. Now let's move the other extra lures to the side, okay? My number 1 lure is going to be a spinnerbait. Now the reason why is because in the fall time, these bass are zoned in on bait fish, because bait fish right now, these bass are just trying to feed up for the winter time, and in the fall, all they're doing is feeding up, roaming around, and being able to cover water is really important, but also being able to cover water while having a bait fish profile is also very important. So that's why the spinnerbait is such a good option, because number 1, it covers a ton of water, which is what you want to do in the fall, because there's no set place where these bass are in the fall. They're just roaming around everywhere, just trying to eat food to fatten up for the winter. And also this covers water, and it looks exactly like a bait fish, and it looks like a school of bait fish, because first of all, the spinnerbait blades look like bait fish, and then this whole thing here looks like bait fish. And I like to put trailer hooks on my spinnerbaits, because oftentimes hooks on spinnerbaits are very small and you get short strikes, and with that trailer hook it can help you hook more fish that you're missing. And I also like to put a little swim bait on my trailer hook, because it just makes it look more realistic. Now it just looks like a big school of bait fish, and this catches a ton of fish, so this is why it's my number 1 fall bait. Number 2 bait, hands down, a lipless crankbait. A lipless crankbait, again, covers a ton of water. You can cast it really far, just like the spinnerbait, and it looks like a bait fish. You can fish it grass, open water, where there's rocks. You can fish it anywhere, okay? And you can do the same thing with the spinnerbait. And a lipless crankbait is just so versatile. You can switch up the sizes, colors, and everything. So this is why this is my number 2 bait. I love a lipless crankbait. I have a ton of lipless crankbaits. One of my favorites here is the Booyah One Knocker, because most lipless crankbaits, they have a ton of little beads in them that make a lot of rattling noises, versus this one, it's called the One Knocker because it only has one big ball inside of it that makes it knock. So I like these. I also like the Bill Lewis original rattle traps, and I also like the Guggen Squad clutches, because they're really good too. So lipless crankbait, number 2, cover water, looks like a bait fish, so this is why it's my number 2. Number 3 is a square bill crankbait. Now, this is another type of crankbait, but the only difference is that now, instead of being able to sink all the way to the bottom and fish all the water columns like a lipless crankbait, the bill allows it to only go a certain depth. Now, this is I think it's a 1.0 size. I typically like the 1.5. They're a little bit bigger, but a square bill crankbait's good because, again, looks like a bait fish. You could bump it against logs and structures, and it's just a great fish catcher. And again, you can buy big ones, small ones, really tiny ones, medium ones, so very versatile. And again, you can cover water with a crankbait because it's a moving bait and looks like a bait fish. So really, the main idea here is to cover water and imitate bait fish, because that's what these bass are zoned in on. So this is bait number 3. Now, just because these bass are feeding a lot and very active does not mean that the bite won't get tough. Okay, there may be days when it's hard to get a bite, even though you're fishing, like you're covering water, you're imitating bait fish, but sometimes these bass are still stubborn because they're bass, you know? So a underspin, very finesse bait. This is a pretty big underspin, but you could buy smaller ones. And I like underspins because, again, you can cover water and it's more finesse, it's more subtle, you know? And you can jig it up and down, you can straight retrieve it. And this right here is one by 10,000 Fish. I think it's called like the Cycle Underspin. It's really cool. And underspins are just really good as well. And you can not just fish a swim bait, you could put a fluke on here or some type of minnow bait. So again, bait number 4, hands down, underspin. Great for finesse fishing and still great fall bait. Number 5, hands down, the best fall bait ever. You can fish this in so many different ways, and as you can see, I love this bait so much because I made a whole fishing kit of it. And I'm basically a fluke. Number 5 is a fluke, okay? The reason why, look at it. It looks exactly like a bait fish, and you can fish it on a regular hook here. You can fish it on a regular hook. I'm gonna rig one up really quick. Now, I am a firm believer. I love a fluke so much, I believe it is a sin to throw a fluke on an EWG. You have to throw a fluke on a straight shank hook, because if you don't, you're not going to get the best action out of it, okay? And with the straight string hook, it's perfectly straight, and it's just so perfect. You can fish it like this, or if you want to get a little bit further out there and you still want to cover a lot of water, because a fluke, you can cover a lot of water with the fluke. You can cast it out there, be twitching and pausing, and it's a very fast-paced bait, but you could also slow down with it. And you could also fish it on a weighted hook, okay? Now I understand this is kind of like an EWG, but that weight kind of evens the distribution out of the bait, so that way it has good action. And let me give you an example of what this would look like. You just put that in there and then twist. Now I don't really like to fish it on a weighted belly hook, but sometimes I will do that just to get a little bit further out there, and if I want to make my fluke sink faster to get to deeper depths, okay? But a fluke is just so versatile, it's so good. You could pretty much throw it anywhere. It imitates bait fish, and they come in all different colors, shapes, and sizes. Like this right here, you have mini flukes, and this is the big one, as you can see here. And the mini ones, I like to throw it on mini hooks, just like this, mini straight string hooks. And a fluke is just so good because you can fish it all over the place, and it looks exactly like a bait fish. My favorite colors for a fluke are baby bass and silver flash right here, okay? But I have a ton of other colors here, and that's basically all my top 5 favorite fall fishing lures. Now I understand that some of you guys don't like these lures, but the main idea for the fall time is cover a lot of water and imitate a bait fish. So all these baits have been chosen for my top 5 because they cover a lot of water and they imitate bait fish, okay? So these were my top 5 fall lures. I hope this helped you. Hopefully you guys can go out this fall with these lures and catch a ton of big bass. And as always, if you want to see more amazing uploads from me, like, subscribe, and as always, stay positive, stay happy, and go catch some more fish. Peace.